Just how bad are things?
Yeah, in fact, China is exposed to the risk of flooding every year. For this year, China actually is experiencing unusually intense rainfall since early June in many provinces, and rainstorm alerts will be issued for several weeks in certain regions. And then we've seen that the water level of many rivers actually has consistently rising to the warning level. And then heavy rainfall from early June result in severe floods in a widespread region throughout China. And regions in southern China, such as Guangdong, Guangxi, Fujian province, and the area of Yangtze River Basin, including province of Hubei, Hunan, and Jiangsu, actually has been adversely affected. And according to the Minister of Emergency Management, the floods actually has affected more than 30 million people, and more than 140 people have died or are missing. And 2 million of residents need to be urgently relocated. And the Ministry of Emergency Management also said that the floods actually have resulted in a direct economic loss of about 70 billion as of 10th of July. So, given the fact that the series of heavy rainfall, flooding, yeah.
Sorry, Terrence, you can carry on. I just wanted to ask you, how far, which of the companies which are likely to be most affected by this, and how much clarity as to what's going on the ground will the claims actually give us?
Well, at this point of time, there's no official statistic or estimate indicating how much insurance claims are likely to be under the series of floods at the moment. But according to the local insurance regulator, Insurers in Hubei, so Guangxi and Jiangsu province has reported that the aggregated incurred losses of more than 500 million as of July 9th, including those claims from motor, agriculture, and property insurance. And then some local media even report that the claims in Guangdong province, could amount to more than 3 billion. But then, given the fact that the areas, very affected area are quite broad, and the situation is still developing, and the rainy season is not over yet in certain parts of China. To a certain extent, we expect that the insurance claim is going to further increase in the coming few weeks. So, for those non-life company, if they do have the exposure to, those affected region, especially if they underwrite a property or agriculture insurance, could be affected. And in fact, if we look at the claims from historical records, we've seen that there's also a severe flood which occurred in 2016, and the insurance claim could be amount to more than 4 billion. So, if we just look at the scale of this time, I think it's likely the scale of the insurance loss is likely to be comparable. And our initial estimate is that the overall claim are likely to exceed 5 billion. In terms of RMB, and that to a certain extent represent about 0.4% of the direct premium written in non-life insurance in 2019.
So, Terrence, would it warrant a review of the credit ratings of some of these insurance companies? Who's most at risk?
Well, I guess at this point of time, it might be too early to tell, as the claims are still developing. And then I guess what we need to do is to closely monitor how the claims develop and whether which company are severely affected by in terms of the exposure in those areas. But we think that those insured which have high concentration on the property as well as the agriculture insurance in the affected region could be affected. But to a certain extent, I think this is likely to be an event, to be an earning event rather than to have severe capital implication to some of the insurers at this point of time.
Terrence, there is a sense that there is a lack of flood analytics in China that could help insurers and reinsurers. What's your take on it? What needs to be done?
I guess, if we just look at the insurance arrangement the company are adopting, at this point of time, I guess our observations, the insurance company, direct insurance company, they are actively monitoring the risk exposure or the risk accumulation in each region. And then they have to, model this accumulation or the risk exposure according to their underwriting capacity. And if the company are able to, fine-tune the mechanism of the risk monitoring system, I think to a certain extent that could, improve their underwriting volatility.